We need a rectangular slot in our gasket, and it needs to be the length of this hole here. Now what we can do is we can switch on a particular type of object snap. It's called a quadrant snap. So what we're going to do, we're going to right click over our object snap, and if we look up here, there's quadrant there, and what it is, it's the north, south, east and west points of a circle. So quadrant is now on. I'll just prove that by right clicking again. Quadrant now has the blue square around it. Now that overrides the center snap. Quadrants will always appear before the center snap when you're working in AutoCAD. So let's go to our rectangle command. Now our rectangle command creates a four-sided closed polyline. So 2D drafting and annotation workspace, home tab on the ribbon, draw panel, and there's the rectangle command right there. So I click there, come into the drawing area, and I'm going to specify the first corner point by using the left-hand quadrant right there. So when that quadrant appears, left click. Now as I move the mouse in any direction, you can see that I'm forming a rectangle. Now if I right click, I can actually specify the dimensions of that rectangle. So I'm going to select dimensions on the shortcut menu. It says specify length for the rectangle. Well, we know that the diameter of that circle is 200. So the length is going to be 200 along the x-axis, and I press enter. Then the width, I need it to be 50. Now that's not a number I've picked out of the air. That gasket has to have a slot in it, 200 by 50. So let's put 50 in there. That's in the Y direction vertically. And there's our rectangle. Now you might think that that's it. It's placed that rectangle. It hasn't. Watch. If I move the mouse around, I can have that rectangle in any orientation from the origin point I originally selected. So what I'd like you to do is move the mouse there and get it in that orientation there. That's actually top right. Can you see that? So top right, and when you get it there, left click. That's positioned it, and it's one of the only AutoCAD commands you close out with a left click on the mouse. Now, make sure you go down to Object Snap, right click, and click on Quadrant again there to switch it off. If I right click again now, you'll see Quadrant doesn't have the little blue square around it. So we've utilized our Quadrant Snap to create our rectangle. What we need to do now is start thinking about where that rectangular slot is going to go on our gasket.